TV18. Now, let's talk about a company which we rarely do talk about. I mean, although we discussed it recently because the stock price move. I'm talking about New India Assurance. If you can, I don't know if you have a quarter-to-date chart. Today, it's not doing very much. But this quarter, starting October till now, and we're almost done with December, it's up 55%. It's by far the single best quarter in terms of stock price performance for New India Assurance. You know, what is really happening, what's really going on? We are now joined by Neerja Kapur, CMD at New India Assurance, to run us through exactly that. Ma'am, it's a pleasure. Good morning. Great to have you with us here. Thanks very much. We rarely get a chance to speak with you, so all the more welcome. I want to start with what's happening on the business side. Premium growth in the last 2 quarters came down from 15 to 18% levels to now to between 5 and 7%. This is lower than what the industry growth has been, what peers have done. Could you tell us what's happening and what could FY23 growth look like and beyond?
Thank you very much for having me on your show. India is one of the fastest growing economies in the world, having clocked about 5.5% average GDP growth over the past decade. Economic growth in India is estimated to grow at about 6.9% in 22-23. And with a proactive set of administrative actions taken by the government, a flexible monetary policy, softening of the global commodity prices, also the supply chain bottlenecks, we are seeing them moving off. Inflationary pressures have eased to some extent in India. So 3 mega trends, global offshoring, digitalization, and energy transition, are setting the scene for a good economic growth in the country as compared to the rest of the world. India has emerged as the fastest growing major economy in the world. And
right. Ma'am, sorry to interrupt. You know, but what in terms of New India itself, if you can be a little specific in terms of what can we expect, you know, in terms of premium growth, as I pointed out, has slowed down meaningfully. What's your own understanding of how the numbers will progress from here?
So we see a very good growth in the motor segment, and you know, with the new vehicle sales showing a very healthy trend, we see the automobile sales increasing across all categories. And 3 of our biggest OEM partners, that is Maruti, Hyundai, and Tata Motors, their auto sales are also at an all-time high compared to the previous year. Health business continues to grow at a very healthy pace, and the predominant reason being the pandemic, which has made everyone more aware of life's uncertainties. We are also seeing a lot of push from the IRDA to, you know, cover the missing middle, and a lot of action is happening in this scene. Property is also witnessing a much better traction compared to the recent years. And this segment, though had declined in last year, it is now it is driven by the demand from residential and commercial segments. So going forward, too, we expect health and motor to be the key growth drivers. And there is a lot of scope for innovative products. And New India as a company is targeting growth without compromising on our bottom line. We are trying to increase our top line, but not at the cost of our bottom line.
Okay, since you're talking about good growth in the motor segment, Ms. Neerja, I wanted your thoughts on 2 things. One is the deregulating of the motor third-party premium, and the other one is making accident insurance mandatory. Your thoughts here, and how would this really affect, you know, or I mean, change your growth prospects?
So this will really impact the segment, and we expect to see a huge growth in the motor sector. In fact, we are seeing the motor segment growing at an extremely good pace. Like I mentioned earlier, the automobile sales are increasing, and the deregulation in the sense that all the companies are targeting the dealer business and getting our OEM partners, like I mentioned earlier, Maruti, Hyundai, and Tata Motors, their sales are also at an all-time high. So we expect the segment to grow in a very healthy pace.
Okay, ma'am, 2 things. One, on the premium growth side, what should we expect over the next, say, year out? Will you get back into the 15% or more kind of zone, premium growth? Yes. Go on.
I would say yes, the industry as such is possibly growing in that segment. We are seeing till November, the growth sales of the entire industry is at about 15%. Like I mentioned, New India, we are focusing on growth with profitability only. So right now, we are focusing on the segment which would be less risk-prone. And so our growth would be, I would estimate it grow in the range of about 10%.
Okay.
8 to 10.
8 to 10%. Okay, this would be lower than industry, but with the focus on profitability and lesser risk. But this is an improvement over what you did last. You know, Q2 combined ratio was at 121 compared to 113 the previous quarter. This is had also dropped to 109. Could you tell us, you know, where is this jump coming from, and when can you get back to the 110 kind of levels?
So our combined ratio has shown an improving trend in the last few quarters. Like I mentioned, we are focusing on the profitable lines of business, and we are weeding out these sectors, or we are trying to price the policies at the correct price rather than just focusing on discounts. So the segment that we are, you would see definitely a profitable growth, and so the combined ratio will be coming down in the quarters to come.
Sorry, what will it be, you said? In the quarters to come, what number, ma'am? Sorry, we missed that. Okay, I think we...
I think she said that the combined ratio will be coming down, but she didn't give a particular number.
All right.
So
all right.
That's the word coming in from New India Assurance.
Well, let's try and have the management back, because we had a bunch of other questions. Rarely get to speak with them. Huge underperformers since listing, except of course this bounce that we've seen in the quarter so far. We will have her back shortly. The market, by the way, slipped into the red now. We're down 8 points, 8.5 points. So this is a far cry from where we started. The high was made right at the word go at open. 920 was the high, and the high was 18,459 or so. And from there, 18,459. We've come back quite a bit. 18,381 or so is where the Nifty is now trading at in the red. Let's look at the broader market. If there is this, I mean, actually market breadth, which was very solid, that is also compressed. 1243 stocks are higher, 780 stocks are lower at this point in time. Sonia, sorry.
No, I just want to mention that, you know, a couple of the stocks that we had spoken about in our top 10 segment are doing quite well. So Shyam Metallics, they will be completing, as you know, as Nigel was also telling us, they are completing their third acquisition. They're expanding inorganically and organically, and the street likes that. 9% higher now on Shyam Metallics. Volumes also picking up over there. And a lot of PSU banks doing well, whether it's UCO Bank, IOB. Despite the market sort of being very volatile, some of these banks continue to move forward.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know, there was an interesting tweet by Uday Kotak, and you know, he's someone who watches global markets carefully. He was a big believer in the power of interest rates. And I just want to kind of quickly read that out while we wait for the management of New India to come back with us. He says, gravity, and I quote, when interest rates are low and central banks are busy printing money, equities can defy gravity. He goes on to say, that when money gets tighter, which is through quantitative tightening and deposits give higher rates, gravity comes back. Every risk investor, he says, must be alert to the power of gravity. So that's Uday Kotak. He's been, for the last several months, actually, been highlighting the fact that interest rates in the world are going up. And he's someone who I think has a very keen understanding of how financial markets work as well. So just wanted to kind of put that out. Should we take a quick break while we wait for the management of New India to get back with us? Let's do that. We'll also have, of course, technical trading ideas with what the market has done so far. Mitesh will be back with us. Stay with us.